Hello friends, welcome back to our channel. So in today's session, let us discuss about one more Java concept, that is inheritance. So first of all, what is meant by this inheritance? So inheritance means one class acquiring the properties of another class. So this can be also called as parent child. So that means child will acquire the properties of a parent, right? Similarly, so here we will have one class and here we will have another class. So this class is a parent for this class, so this class can obtain the properties of this parent class. So here acquiring properties, this means acquiring the properties means accessing variables as well as methods. So this class can access the variables and methods of this class. So this is called a parent class, this is called a child class. So this can be called as base class, right? So base class means from which we are acquiring the properties, and this is called a derived class. That means which class it is acquiring the properties of base class. So this is again called as superclass, and this we call it as subclass. So all these are the different names for these classes, right? So in the inheritance there will be two different classes. One is the base class, another one is the derived class, and derived class will access the variables and methods of base class, and apart from these variables and methods of base class, this class will be having its own variables and methods. So the reverse process will not be done, right? The parent cannot access the child class variables and methods. Only the child class can access the parent class variables and methods. So for implementing this inheritance concept, we will use a keyword called extends. So in the first sessions we have seen a different keywords available in Java. In that you can observe this extends keyword, which is used to implement this inheritance concept. So here, see, so this is the derived class. From this derived class, base class, and from this base class there will be derived class. So that means this derived class will acquire the properties of base class. So this is called a single inheritance. Right? Only the single inheritance. Now, if so base class and there will be a derived class, and again from this another class has been derived class. So that means for this derived class, this class will be the parent, and for this derived class, this class will be the parent. So this is the parent, this is the child, and this is the child, and this is the parent. Hope you understood, right? So this type of inheritance we call it as multi-level inheritance. Single inheritance, multi-level inheritance. That means base class, there will be one parent class. From that parent class, a child class will acquire the properties, and from this child class again the subclass will be derived. That is one more child which acquires the properties of this derived class. This is called a multi-level inheritance. And there is a one more inheritance, that is so base class. From this base class, there will be a derived class, again derived class. So from the single base class there will be two derived classes. So two different classes acquiring the properties of same base class. So this is called hierarchical inheritance. Hierarchical inheritance. So this one is a multi-level inheritance. This is a single inheritance. So these are the three inheritance supported by Java. So hope you understood. So whatever the inheritance it may be, there will be a parent class and a child class. So child class will acquire the properties from the parent class. Right. So apart from these three, there are two more inheritance concepts, that is multiple inheritance and hybrid inheritance. So these two categories we cannot achieve in Java directly, right? So can't achieve directly in Java, but these two can be implemented by using interfaces. By using these interfaces we can implement these two inheritance also, right? So we are having only three, that is single inheritance, multi-level inheritance, hierarchical inheritance. So these three concepts will be supported by Java. Right? So let us see one by one. So in this session we will see what is meant by this single inheritance. That means there will be one base class and one derived class. So the derived class will acquire the properties of base class. So single inheritance. Now let us write two classes. So as I have said that inheritance concept means there will be two different classes. One is the base class and another one is the derived class. So I will write one class here. Let us write a parent, right? Parent class. So I am declaring one variable here, int a, and also one more function, that is method. I am writing method void display. So just we will write system dot out dot println parent. Right? This is the parent class. Now this is the parent class. Now there will be a child class which acquires the properties of this one. Now class child, and here also I will declare one more variable, some 10. Let us initial this one 20. Next, here also I will write some function void show system dot out dot println child, close. So now child is a derived class, parent is a base class. So child is derived from the parent class. So how to implement this one? So for this implementation we will use extend keywords, extends. So extends is used to achieve the inheritance concept. So where we have to write these extends? So at the derived class we have to write the extends. So here which is the derived class? This is the derived class. So we have to write extends in this class. So child extends. So from which it is extends? That means parent class. So here we have to write the parent, right? So whatever the class name, the base class name, we have to mention here. So child class, I mean class child extends parent. So here parent is the derived class, I mean base class, child is the derived class. Now write down the main function. So class inherit public static void main, the string, some arguments, right? So for this class and this class, in order to access these things we have to create an object, and then through the object we have to access. So I will just create an object for this child. So child some c is equal to new child. So this is the syntax for creating an object we have seen. So now through this c we can access these things, right? So system.out.println c.b, it will print 10 as well as c.show. Automatically this method will be executed. Now as this child class is a derived class from the parent, so this child object can also access directly these variables and methods of the parent class. So here we can directly write SOP, that means system.out.println, right? So SOP c.a. So directly this access can be done. So that is the advantage of inheritance. So in the absence of inheritance, if you want to access this variable and this method, we have to create an object for this class, and through that object we have to access this one. If you are using this inheritance concept without creating an object for the parent, from the child object we can access both the variables and methods of a parent also. So here directly we can access display method also, c.display, right? So through the child object we are accessing the methods and variables of a parent. So that is the advantage of inheritance. So in the inheritance, one parent class will be there, one child class will be there. A child class is derived from the parent class, and in order to access the variables and methods of both the parent and child, the child object is required. It is sufficient to access both the variables and methods of both the child class and parent class, right? So hope you understood the single inheritance. This is called a single inheritance. That means only one parent and one child. So one base class and one derived class. So derived class extends base class, right? So let us see the implementation part, and we will stop here. In the next session we will see the two more inheritances, that is multi-level and hierarchical inheritances. Now let us see the implementation part of this single inheritance. Hello friends, so now let us see the implementation part of single inheritance. So as we have seen, now we have to create a class, two classes. So let us create one class. So P is one class, let us call it as a parent. Now in that parent I am declaring one variable which is a, and I'm also writing one function, display function. So display, and in that display just I am printing one thing just as a parent class. right? So this is a parent class. Now let us create one more class, class C, which is a child class. So here also we are declaring one variable, and here we are using one function, that is the show function. So in that, let us see, again we have to I am writing system dot out dot println child class. I am writing the simply child class, right? So now this child class is inherited. So in order to implement this inheritance, we have to use the extends keyword. C extends P. So here C is a base class, derived class, P is a base class. Now let us write the main function. So class inherit public static void main, pass on the arguments string args. So here let us create an object for child C. Object is equal to new C. Now we can access the variables of a child by using object name, object dot, so B, and similarly object dot show. So these lines will directly print inherit dot java, inherit dot java. So I am just saving it, executing this one. So java c inherit dot java. So I am compiling. So successful compilation is there. So java inherit. So automatically 20 and child class has been printed. So in order to access the parent class variables and method, we have to create a parent class object. But here we are using the inheritance concept, so we can directly access the parent class variables and methods by using the same object of child class. So obj.a and obj.display. So this will directly access the variables and methods of a parent class also. See, 20 child, 10 parent class. So child class variable is equal to obj, and here also we can write, so parent class variable is equal to obj dot a. So here we are creating only one object for the child, and by using that particular child object we are accessing the variables and methods of both the parent and child classes, right? So in the absence of inheritance, we have to create two objects, one is for child and another one is for parent. In order to access the child variables and methods of child class, we have to access through the object of a child, and in order to access the variables and methods of a parent class, we have to create an object for parent. But here, implementing the inheritance, we are just creating an object for child, and through the object we are accessing both the variables and methods of both the parent and child classes, right? So hope you understood this one. If you really understood my sessions, like my sessions, share my sessions with your friends, and if you are having any doubts regarding this inheritance concept, feel free to post your doubts in the comment section, so that I will definitely try to clarify all your doubts. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching. Thank you very much.